Daily Broadside, day 663. In 1980, Dolly Parton wrote a song called 9 to 5 for the movie 9 to 5. Stumble out of bed and stumble in the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition. But, you know the song, right? You know the song. Catchy little tune. Great little movie. Dabney Coleman. I always like Dabney Coleman. Lily Tomlin. It's rough to look at. But anyway, you know that Lily Tomlin had to be looking at Jane Fonda and Dolly Parton like, why do I look like an old hat, that's been left in a ditch, But anyway, 9 to 5 was written for that movie, and it went through there. By the way, little known fact, 9 to 5 is one of the few top 40 Billboard hits that has the click-clack of typewriter keys, which had something to do with, acrylic nails when she, came up with the song. But anyway, just a little food for thought there. But here's the problem I have with 9 to 5. It's not Dolly Parton's version. It's the next year when Sheena Easton wrote a song called 9 to 5. Bitch, what are you thinking? You can't just put it, and it's actually called, I think it's called Morning Train, and then parenthetically it says 9 to 5. That's dumb. That's like Phil Collins in 1984 coming out with a song called Morning Train, and in parentheses, Thriller. Or just writing a song called Thriller. Because sometimes Sheena Easton's song is called 9 to 5 too. And that Morning Train thing is just off. And by the way, Morning Train is one of them songs that just would never end. You could just keep singing it over and over. It just has no end. It just, my baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5 and then he takes another home again to find me, wait, and then it just goes back into he takes that, and you'd be like, God, I'm gonna jump in front of a morning train if this song doesn't end. But first of all, Dolly Parton's version is here. Sheena Easton, although attractive, and I think Scottish or Irish, I think she's Scottish, down here. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure she's from somewhere in the UK area. It's not as good of a song, but more importantly, like I said, you don't just make a hit, or you don't name a song that you come up with after a hit from the previous year. That's dumb. That would be like Cyndi Lauper in 1980, let's say 5, coming up with a song called Like a Virgin, which would be nauseating to hear her sing. But nevertheless, I don't care for that part. But more importantly, let's back up to the Dolly Parton version, okay? Dolly Parton's working 9 to 5, and she's just mad because she can't get a promotion, and the boss don't seem to get her or something like that, and he's making all the money, and she's pocketing all that stuff. But here's the problem. Here's the bigger problem with that song. You're working 9 to 5. When the hell you eating lunch? You come in at 9, you working an 8-hour day, you going home at 5, you going home hungry is what you're doing. Because, see, you should work 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. Or you just work through lunch every day or eat at your desk. I don't understand. You're just taking a little 30-minute break that you're compensated for. Because typically speaking, it would be, 8 o'clock to lunch at 12. And then we take a lunch break from 12 to 1. Then we come back at 1 and we finish out the day from 1 to 5. And then we take the morning train back to your house. But Dolly Parton's mad, not because she ain't making no money, because she's hungry. She's hungry. Plus, she's got an 18, maybe a 17 and a half inch waist. So she ain't eating. She's like looking at an apple and like, well, lunch was good. That's all she did. But I don't know. Anyway, I was talking to somebody last night, and this girl said she had a Black & Decker skill saw. And first of all, I have a problem with you calling it a Black & Decker skill saw. It's a circular saw because skill saw is a brand. And that's the brand that I use for my skill saw, but mine's a worm drive because that's the only circular saw you should use. But she was like, yeah, I got a Black & Decker. I'm like, I'm happy that you have a circular saw, but you need to return that. And she was like, well, it's like 6 or 7 years old. I said, trust me, you return a Black & Decker tool a decade later, they'll understand. They'll be waiting for you with or without a receipt. You'll walk in there and they'll be like, oh, good afternoon, can I help you? And you'll be like, I got this Black & Decker tool back in the 90s, and I need to return it. And you're like, we've been expecting you. That's completely understandable as opposed to buying a tool that's actually a tool and will last most of your life. But I digress. Yeah. I went to soccer camp when I played travel ball back in the day when I was in middle school and all. And I was at a soccer camp in Elon, North Carolina, and there were some kids there. We were at one of the little restaurants on campus we were eating. It was like a pizza pub or something like that, and they had foosball. Now, anybody that's ever played foosball that knows nothing about the scoring or rules of foosball, this is basically how you play foosball. You just spin those things as fast as you can. You're jerking them in and out, and you're lucky if you only have to run one of them. If you're running two, you're just, you're over here, and you don't know what you're doing. You're just trying to hit that dang like ball that seems to be made out of concrete just as hard as you can hit it. Well, as luck would have it, we pair up, and the guys on my team are playing, and we're screwing around, and so these other kids come in. And they were from, like, Maryland or some crap. And they come in and they're like, can we play? And I'm like, can you play? Yes. All right. And so we start playing. And I kid you not, had I not seen this with my own eyes, I would not have believed it. But these dudes, like, could pass the ball laterally, linearly, perpendicularly, parallel. They could shoot, like, corner shots. It was insane what they could do. And there was, like, a couple of these kids who were apparently on some, like, foosball league back home in Maryland or wherever the hell they were. I think it was up north, somewhere where they play more foosball than North Carolina. But these dudes were like dribbling the ball. They were able to circle the ball around the little figure, who, by the way, doesn't have anything that moves. It's just a body that spins, as we know. So somehow they were like making the ball. They were like, basically dribbling the ball and passing sideways. And we were getting scored. It looked like, I don't know what it looked like. It looked like, me scrimmaging against Jordan or something. It was bad, I know what it was like. It was like the Gary Larson cartoon where God's on Jeopardy and he's winning like 12,014 to 0. And like Stan or whoever the guy is, he can't buzz in fast enough. And God's like, a 9'4". He's got this big flowing robe and the beard and all. And he's just, the Tibetan Peninsula. Boop, the Ural Mountains. Boop, I don't know. The Iberian ham goat, whatever. By the way, I had some Iberian ham. I didn't have Iberian ham. I had Iberian pig ham. It was jamon serrano, I think it was. Let me tell you something. Italy can go get in little boats and swim out to the middle of the ocean and just perish, because prosciutto is now down here. Jamon serrano from Spain. They feed these Iberian pigs nothing but acorns towards the end. They're kind of woodland pigs, and it's very nutty flavor. It's like prosciutto, but so much better. And it's darker and richer. So good. I just let it warm up to room temperature. It was like freshly cut. Very good, very good. Anyway, that's all I have.